Welcome in to another edition of The Locker Room. I'm your host, Cade Crenshaw, once again here in the Kennedy Greenhouse Studios with our special guest today. We have Miss Catherine Averill and Mr. Braden Maloy joining us today. A variety of topics, right? We're talking Super Bowl Sunday coming up this weekend, the Kansas City Chiefs, winners of the AFC, and the NFC champs, the San Francisco 49ers, set to face off there in Super Bowl 54 down in Miami. And that should be an exciting matchup overall. Two really, really good teams. We're going to talk everything you need to know Super Bowl, plus reflecting on the life and legacy of the late Kobe Bryant. And Catherine, first we're going to touch on the big game, the Super Bowl, coming up this Sunday. Food, commercials, football, you can't beat it, right?
That's true.
But this game is different than what we've had in past years, where we have one of the league's rising stars in one of the biggest games.
Well, I think that for the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes is going to be the most dynamic player for them because he's the most dynamic QB in the NFL right now. He has the star power to throw those bullet touchdown passes. He's proven his points all throughout the season, and I think he's going to be able to put enough points on the board to push the Chiefs forward. In the past games when he was playing the Lions, offense was stalling. He didn't execute that touchdown pass, and then he came down in the 4th and 8th, and he darted all the way through and was able to score the winning touchdown. So I think he has the star power that's needed to pull it off for the Chiefs this year.
You know, you mentioned his use of his legs, and I think that's very underrated of Patrick Mahomes. We talk about that cannon of an arm he has and just the extreme passing talent he is, but there's so many weapons that some secondaries are able to recover. They're able to cover guys like Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill and shut off those passing options and give way to his legs and make him escape the pocket. And maybe that makes him maybe the next factor in this game. Braden, for you, who has the edge at quarterback? Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City or Jimmy Garoppolo in San Francisco?
I got to give it to Patrick Mahomes. He has that playmaking ability. If play breaks down, he can get out of the pocket. He always has his eyes downfield. Such great vision. And you mentioned his running aspect. The 49ers defense, they've done a great job all year of shutting down opposing team running backs, so they can hold down the run game. But they have a problem with letting quarterbacks rush. You saw when they lost the game to the Baltimore Ravens earlier in the season. Lamar ran up and down the field. They couldn't stop him. I think if Mahomes can find some lanes, if his weapons are shut down, they can find some lanes, get some yards, pick up a few key first downs, it's going to put them over the edge in the game.
Mahomes had a big running touchdown there in the AFC Championship game that really was kind of the difference maker late, that really pushed them ahead and gave them that edge. Staying here offensively, looking at Kansas City, I mentioned all their weapons, Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins even. And also for San Francisco, Deebo Samuel, a former Gamecock out there, George Kittle, another great tight end. Both of these teams have a ton of weapons. Both teams have pretty good O-lines too. Who do you give the edge to offensively?
I think I'm going to go back with the Chiefs. Just how explosive they are at every position, just the speed they have on the field, the ability of Mahomes to get out of the pocket and escape and create a scramble drill. The receivers can follow his motion so fluidly that they can break open in a wide space, get big, huge chunk plays. They use the Damian Williams out of the backfield so frequently to pick up 3-4 yard gains, get the first down, keep the drive going. I think they're just offense. They're just so explosive. They're going to put points on the board. We've seen it the past 2 games in the playoffs. They've averaged over 35 points, upwards of 50 against the Texans. I just think you can't slow them down enough.
You're not wrong there, and you mentioned a big point game. San Francisco dropped nearly 40 on Aaron Rodgers and the Packers in the NFC title game. So we're not talking about a shabby offense here in San Francisco either. Raheem Mostert, 4 touchdowns in that NFC title game.
That's pretty impressive.
One of the underrated players maybe in the league coming out of Purdue a few years ago. For you, Catherine, who has the edge offensively, the 49ers or the Chiefs?
I have to agree and go back to the Chiefs. I really think they have the playmakers, the stars of the team. In their off moments, they know that they have to work harder to come back. And with Mahomes, he's like a man of the team. He will do whatever it takes to get the touchdown in. He is the X factor. He works for his team.
Now, we've both mentioned offensively, we've mentioned quarterback play. Of course, that's going to be key as to putting points on the board. But which team can keep the points off? Defensively here, we know what the 49ers have with the rookie Nick Bosa and the year he's having. That D-line's incredible. But Kansas City is not a defense to be overlooked either. They play in a league that's very point happy, very offensively driven. Their defense has stepped up big this year, especially late in the playoffs. Catherine, for you defensively, who might be the difference maker?
I think it's the 49ers. They've been the most consistent all season, and if you look at their season, they're stronger in that area. They don't have the strongest offensive line when you compare it to the Chiefs for this game, but they have proven themselves time after time to be strong in the defense. And even though Nick Bosa is a rookie, he's proven to be a beast all season. Nothing is stopping him. I think that they're really going to give the Chiefs that all they can handle this game, but in the end, I think that it's going to be tight, and the Chiefs are just going to have a little bit enough of edge to put it over the win.
Now, we give the Chiefs the offensive edge, and Catherine, you have the 49ers defensively, so that's a pretty exciting matchup right there. Braden, do you have the same mindset there?
Yeah, generally. So both defenses are top. That's why they're in this game. They've made the plays they needed to make get to the bowl. But they both are focused on two different kind of aspects. The Chiefs, they're more of a shut down your receivers, don't allow the deep plays, keep the ball in front of them kind of defense. They have 16 interceptions this entire year. He's one of the tops in the league. And they throughout the season, they recorded the 5th lowest passer rating for opposing quarterbacks. So I think they're going to make it very difficult on Jimmy G to have those big chunk plays, move the ball down the field. They're going to leave him with the dinks and dumps. And I think if they can keep everything in front of them, they'll have a good shot. On the other hand, the 49ers, they're focused on stopping you short, stopping your run, stopping all the quick plays. They got Emmanuel Mosley, their star linebacker. He just has that knack to fill the gaps, shut down the running backs, get the cross patterns. He's going to stop you in the middle. And then that D-line, like you said with the rookie, Nick Bosa, they had the 5th most sacks in the league, but were some of the last in blitzes. They can rush 4 and still get at the quarterback. And I think that's going to help them put over the edge. On the defensive side, I think they will get the Mahomes. Since the Chiefs do just such long developing plays, I think Bosa and Mosley are going to have time to get to Mahomes, get him down on the ground, maybe shake up his role a little bit. And I give the defense to the 49ers.
You know, I think it's interesting how our league is transforming, right? You have so many great legends and old-time playmakers like Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning. All those guys are either coming to an end of their career or have already called it quits, like Eli Manning retired just a week ago.
Yeah.
But this is a young league. There's a lot of young guys coming up. We mentioned Patrick Mahomes. You're bringing up Lamar Jackson earlier. Young guys are making an impact in this league, and young head coaches, too, like Kyle Shanahan, of course, with San Francisco. But on the other side, one of those old legends, right? On the other side, Andy Reid. Andy Reid's been around forever, but he's never gotten that ring, that coveted Super Bowl title. Braden, for you, who has the edge at head coach? Andy Reid versus Kyle Shanahan?
I'm going to give it to Andy Reid. I think just in these type of games, experience takes over just ahead of everything. Kyle Shanahan's done great, even back in 2016-17 when he was with the Falcons and had the highest offense in the league, took them to the Super Bowl, and then he's come to San Francisco, got the head job, has proven he can win with the teams and make playmakers and score the points and win the big games. But Andy Reid's done that for just that much longer. He's never won the big game, but he's won big games. He's been in the situations. Against the Texans just this playoffs, he was down huge at halftime. He came back, routed off 8 straight touchdown drives with his offense, and his defense was making stops to slow down a Texans offense that had been killing them all game. I think just his experience and knowledge, he's the quarterback whisperer, so he's got Mahomes, he's right there on his back. I think that will just put them over the edge in the scheme and game planning.
Catherine, for you, are you going the new kid on the block or the old guy?
I have to disagree. I'm going to go for Kyle Shanahan. I think that he's a coach for the team. He values his players. He knows what he's doing. He's a Bull veteran, so he obviously has experience in what he's doing. I just hope that he can learn from his mistakes. I just cannot forget that he was the architect of the Falcons' downfall against the Patriots in Super Bowl 51. I think that he'll never forget that either. He's learned from his mistakes. Hopefully he can push through for the 49ers so he can get his 6th ring.
Yeah, you think back to that Super Bowl, they're up 28-3, and then it all comes crashing down, right? So Kyle Shanahan, as you mentioned, has been in this game. It just didn't turn out so great for him. So we've covered quarterback play. We've covered head coach's advantage, offensively and defensively speaking as well. Who's got the edge? Catherine, who are you taking in Super Bowl 54?
In the end, I think it's going to come down to the Chiefs. I think they're going to pull through and come out with a ring for them.
Now, Braden, for you, how do you see this game playing out?
I see it as a close game. I don't think, like you said, there might be points, but I think the defense the defenses will step up. They'll make the play. They'll eliminate the huge chunk plays, the consecutive touchdown drives. I think it'll be a back and forth game. I see the Chiefs winning 35-21. I don't think it'll be as high scoring as people are expected, but it's not going to be a field goal shootout. There will be points. I think a good 14 points.
I think this game is really, really interesting. Like we mentioned, great offense versus great defense. Great veteran head coach versus a rising star in the ranks. This is a game that really embodies the status of the NFL right now. I think it covers all of those bases. These are, I think, the two teams that were destined to be in Super Bowl 54. Only one can win, though. For me, that's going to be Kansas City. I can't pick against Patrick Mahomes and the receivers that he has. We always focus on Travis Kelce. We always focus on guys like Tyreek Hill. I think we leave Sammy Watkins out of the discussion way too often. Explosive receiver who's going to make a big-time impact in this game, I believe. He's the true X factor to me, the underrated player there. Andy Reid, I think he finally gets that ring, right? You think of great head coaches, Belichick, Lombardi, Don Shula, the list goes on. Why do we think of them? Because they all had rings.
They won the championship.
And I think now Andy Reid will finally join that elite fraternity of getting that coveted Super Bowl ring in Super Bowl 54 on Sunday. Of course, this weekend's going to be an exciting football showdown, but this past week, as each of us have surrounded ourselves in the sports world, we're members there, and so many others across the country and across the globe, not just in sports, that we've learned after the passing of Kobe Bryant this past Sunday at age 41. Braden, for you, looking back on the life and legacy of Kobe Bryant, as we've grown up, we've watched Kobe. We've watched Kobe since he wore number 8. We watched Kobe when he made the runs with Shaq. We watched Kobe when he switched to 24. We watched Kobe go through all these things, winning 5 titles. We watched Kobe win the MVP. We watched Kobe make waves in basketball and furthermore make an impact even on today's game after he's been retired for a number of years now, but also make an impact globally with his business work, with his charity work, and even now we're seeing with his familyhood. For you, looking back over the life and legacy of Kobe Bryant, what will you always take away?
I think I would just take, the Mamba mentality, right? I can be better still. He had the 5 rings. He had all the wins. He retired from basketball. He won an Oscar. He had a huge, glorious family, but he still was striving. He still continued to put in the hard work to be the best at what he can do. He was never satisfied, and I think that's just something that we can all look at. We can all continue to raise the bar, right? And I think it puts that kind of like drive in you to do more, be better. I think that was a global impact. Everyone saw how he worked so diligently at his craft. It's inspired some of the young players today. He kind of mentored Kyrie and Trae Young and Devin Booker, some of these players, and you see them in the league now. You got 2 perennial All-Stars. Devin Booker maybe should have been in, maybe not, but he's also playing at an All-Star caliber level. And it's great to see that impact is still lasting. It's not even skill-wise. It's just the heart and will to win and be the best.
You're not wrong there, and you mentioned so many guys, and being a big basketball savant, I study the game, I analyze the game, and I see Kobe in Devin Booker's post-up game. I see Kobe in DeMar DeRozan's footwork. I see Kobe in Kyrie's closeout game, that 1-on-5 mentality. I see Kobe in LeBron's leadership. I see Kobe in the rising stardom of Trae Young and Luka Doncic even, right?
Yeah.
I see Kobe in so many ways in today's game. Kobe is not gone from basketball. Kobe's legacy, I think, will live on forever. Catherine, for you, looking back over the life and legacy of Kobe Bryant, what will you remember from him?
Obviously, what happened to him and his family was a tragedy, but I really admired him because he did not just gloat in his glory. He was always striving to work better, and he did a lot for his daughter and his family. He was always encouraging her to go after what she did, what she wanted, and he did a lot for her in the basketball community, really approaching a rise to women's basketball and getting it the more attention that it deserved through his daughter and through the hard work that he's done, not gloating in his glory and putting in the effort for other sports to be recognized.
No doubt that Kobe is a legend gone way too young at age 41. And of course, on behalf of all of us here at Locker Room and also Capital City Sports and SGTV, we send out our continued condolences and prayers and love to all of the families of the victims involved in that Sunday helicopter crash that claimed the lives of Bryant and 8 other victims. We'll close out this show of The Locker Room. For Catherine Averill and Braden Maloy, I'm Cade Crenshaw. Folks, hug those who are near you. Cherish every moment, and we'll see you next week.